India's true strength isn't just defined by the size of its military or the wealth of its economy. It's defined by the strength of its spirit, the resilience that has been cultivated through centuries of adversity, struggle, and change. A nation that has faced countless obstacles, both internal and external, and emerged from each of them stronger than before. From the brutal colonial era to the challenges of partition, from wars to economic turmoil, India has always stood tall, refusing to bow down to circumstances. This resilience runs deep in the veins of every Indian. It's in the farmers who toil tirelessly on their lands, the teachers who inspire the minds of future generations, the young professionals who chase their dreams, and the artists who reflect the nation's soul. It's in the daily lives of the millions who never give up, no matter how hard the struggle, because they know that it's in the face of hardship that they truly find their strength. The adversity India has faced over the years, rather than breaking it, has fortified the nation. Every challenge, every setback, has only made the resolve of its people stronger. The nation has known what it means to fight for its survival, whether it was the fight for independence or the battle to rebuild after every tragedy that has befallen it. What India has learned in the process is that resilience is not just about enduring the pain or overcoming the challenges. It's about using every difficulty as a stepping stone, growing stronger with each fall and rising higher with every obstacle. This resilience isn't just about the people or the leaders, it's woven into the fabric of the nation itself, from the mountains in the north to the oceans in the south, from the deserts in the west to the forests in the east. India has seen and endured the full range of nature's power. It's built on ancient traditions of perseverance, of finding strength in the face of adversity. These roots are not easily shaken. Whether it's a flood, a drought, or an economic crisis, the resilience of India's people ensures that no challenge is too great to overcome. But perhaps most remarkable is India's ability to come together in the most difficult of times. The unity of its people, across regions, religions, and languages, is the true testament to the power of resilience. In times of crisis, there is a sense of shared purpose that binds the people together, reminding them that they are all in this journey together. It is this collective spirit that propels the nation forward, even when the world may try to hold it back. India's resilience is not just about surviving, but about thriving despite the odds. It's about emerging from every trial with a sense of purpose and a deep belief that nothing is impossible. And in the face of the world's shock, India stands strong, not just as a nation of power, but as a beacon of hope for anyone who dares to rise above their circumstances. India, once perceived by many as a dormant giant, is now undeniably awake. For decades, the world's eyes were focused elsewhere, on the Western powers, the emerging economies, and the newer global players. India, with its vast landmass, population, and ancient history, was often reduced to the label of a developing nation, caught in the throes of its own struggles. But that narrative has changed, and India is no longer standing in the background. The nation is asserting itself, with clarity and precision, as a force to be reckoned with. This awakening is not just about political might or economic prowess, it's about the realization of India's true potential. It's about understanding that the strength of its people, the depth of its culture, and the scale of its resources are far more powerful than many gave it credit for. India's time has come, and it's no longer just a passive player waiting to follow the directions of others. It is actively shaping its own path, setting its own course, and making waves in the process. the past few decades have witnessed a remarkable transformation. From technological advancements to a booming economy, from cultural exports to diplomatic influence, India's global presence has been rapidly growing. The world has been watching, but there's been a quiet underestimation of just how quickly and decisively India can move when it decides to act. India has slowly but steadily built the infrastructure, the innovation, and the capacity to challenge old norms, bringing forth a new vision that the world can no longer ignore. This awakening is rooted in the nation's ability to adapt. India has shown time and again that it is capable of learning, evolving, and overcoming. Its people, from the youngest to the oldest, have embraced change with open arms, proving that the country is ready for the future, no matter how unpredictable it may seem. The young generation is driving this change, full of ambition, energy, and a desire to push boundaries. They are not looking back, but forward, towards a future that has no limits, a future that's being shaped by their hands. Moreover, India's awakening is also a shift in its own self-perception. For years, India struggled with questions of its identity and its place in the world. Today, it stands with pride, knowing its worth and understanding the pivotal role it can play in global affairs. It no longer needs validation from the outside world. India's strength lies in its confidence, in the realization that it is not just a part of the global community, it is central to it. As India moves forward, the world is being forced to reckon with its rising power. This is not just about economic growth or military strength. It is about a nation that has discovered its own voice, one that is loud, clear, and resolute. The world will no longer be able to underestimate India because its awakening is not a fleeting moment. It is the beginning of a new era, one where India will chart its own destiny unapologetically and with unmatched force. India's strength lies not only in its vast resources or strategic position, but in its unparalleled ability to unite across its differences. In a country as diverse as India, spanning thousands of miles, countless languages, and multiple religions, the idea of unity might seem like an impossible dream, yet this unity is the very foundation that has carried the nation forward. India's diverse population has faced challenges that many other nations would never have been able to overcome. Yet it has managed to remain united, transforming diversity into one of its greatest assets. In moments of crisis, the unity of the people shines brightest. Whether it's a natural disaster, a political upheaval, or an international conflict, India's citizens come together, putting aside their differences to face the challenges head on. This is a country where people from the northernmost mountains to the southernmost oceans, from the eastern plains to the western deserts, share a collective identity. They may speak different languages, practice different religions, and have distinct regional cultures, but they all share an unshakable bond, a commitment to India, to the idea of one nation, one people. What sets India apart is the deep sense of pride that unites its people. It's a pride born of a shared history, a history marked by struggle, resistance, and eventual triumph. This sense of unity transcends political lines and regional divides. In moments of national importance, Indians from every walk of life rise to the occasion, knowing that their strength lies not in their individual differences, but in their collective ability to act as one. It is this unity that empowers India to withstand the tests of time and adversity. In times of great national importance, like when India faced external threats or internal challenges, the country has seen its citizens put aside their personal struggles and come together with a singular purpose. The energy of this unity is palpable. It is not merely a political construct, It is something woven into the very spirit of the nation. When the nation faces adversity, it is this sense of belonging to something greater than oneself that motivates millions of people to act, to stand tall, and to defend their land, culture, and values. Perhaps one of the most remarkable aspects of India's unity is its ability to remain inclusive. The vision of India has always been one that embraces all people, regardless of their background. This inclusivity is a strength that the world often overlooks. In a world that is increasingly divided by borders, religions, and ideologies, India stands as a testament to the idea that unity is not about uniformity, it's about coming together in spite of differences, finding common ground, and celebrating diversity. When India strikes, it strikes with the force of this unity, drawing from the collective strength of its people. It is this unity that makes India unstoppable. When its people are united, no challenge is too great, no obstacle too insurmountable. This sense of shared purpose is not just a fleeting feeling, it is the bedrock upon which the nation stands, and it will continue to propel India forward on the global stage. When India strikes, it does not do so in a singular, narrow way. The country's rise is multidimensional, affecting every aspect of life, militarily, economically, technologically, and socially. India has always been more than the sum of its parts, but now it is striking across various fields with unprecedented force. It is no longer just an emerging power. It is a force of change, one that is reshaping the global landscape on multiple fronts. One of the most notable areas of India's strength lies in its technological advancements. Over the past few decades, India has emerged as a global leader in IT and innovation. The rise of Indian tech giants, startups, and its growing digital infrastructure has put the country in a prime position to lead the world in digital solutions. India has become a hub for technology, research, and development. Its ability to innovate, coupled with its vast pool of talent, has led to the creation of some of the world's most important technologies, from mobile applications to cutting-edge space missions. India's technological prowess is not just in its ability to adapt to new trends, but in its ability to create them, to forge new paths, and open new frontiers. On the economic front, India has made leaps that are impossible to ignore. The nation's economic growth has been steady, and it continues to climb, even in the face of global challenges. India's economy is diverse, spanning industries from agriculture to finance, from manufacturing to services. As a result, it is not dependent on one sector, but rather has built a resilient and adaptable economy. India's growing influence in global markets is a testament to its economic vitality. It's no longer just a player in the emerging markets, it is increasingly shaping the future of global trade and investment. The economic power that India wields today is something that cannot be underestimated. But India's power doesn't stop at economic or technological advancements. The nation is also breaking barriers in social reform and cultural influence. Indian cinema, music, literature, and art have made their mark on the global stage, carrying the country's voice far beyond its borders. Bollywood, once seen as a regional industry, is now a global force that influences culture worldwide. Indian artists, musicians, and writers are shaping international trends and bringing the rich cultural tapestry of India to a global audience. This cultural diplomacy has allowed India to influence global narratives, shifting perceptions of what the country represents. India is also making strides on the global diplomatic front, forging alliances and partnerships that enhance its geopolitical power. It is no longer just a country reacting to world events. India is shaping international policies and playing an active role in global governance. Whether it's in trade agreements, environmental efforts, or peacekeeping missions, India's voice is being heard and its influence is growing. The world cannot ignore the weight that India now carries in global decision making. All of these efforts come together in a nation that is not just breaking boundaries, but shattering them. India is constantly pushing the limits of what is possible, striving for new heights in every sector. Whether it's sending a mission to Mars or being at the forefront of renewable energy innovation, India is constantly proving that no boundary is too strong to break, no challenge too big to tackle. India's rise is a reminder to the world that it is not just about breaking through walls, it's about building something greater than what was ever imagined before. For years, the world watched India from a distance, often underestimating its capabilities and overlooking the quiet yet powerful transformation taking place. But when India strikes, it does so with an impact so profound that it reverberates through global politics, economics, and culture. The world, particularly the West, has often been blind to the magnitude of India's potential. But every time India makes a move, whether it's in diplomacy, military strategy, or economic initiatives, it catches the world off guard. The shock is not merely in the actions themselves, but in the magnitude of their consequences, their ability to disrupt long-standing power dynamics and change the course of history. The global order, long dominated by Western powers, is beginning to see the cracks as India asserts itself. For years, India was placed in the category of developing nations, often dismissed as a country with immense potential but limited power. That label no longer applies. When India takes decisive action, the world must pay attention because it carries with it the weight of ambition, strength, and unity. The world, especially the global powers, can no longer ignore India's ascent because every move made by the nation sends ripples far beyond its borders. This shock is not just limited to political or military arenas. India's cultural influence has also had a staggering effect on the world. From Bollywood to yoga, from Indian cuisine to music, India's cultural impact has been quietly, yet steadily, changing the global landscape. In a world that has long been dominated by Western media, India's global reach in the entertainment and cultural sectors is undeniable. Its films, its music, and even its literature have made their mark, shifting the conversation and offering new narratives to a world that was often fixated on the West. This cultural shock is a reminder that the world is diverse, and India is at the forefront of shaping global cultural dialogues. Militarily and diplomatically, India's actions have shocked the world as well. Its position as a global power is no longer a matter of speculation, it is a matter of reality. India's military capability, once underestimated, is now recognized as one of the strongest in the world. When India decides to act, it does so with precision, power, and intelligence. Its strategic alliances, its role in global peacekeeping, and its stance on international issues reflect a growing influence that cannot be dismissed. The international community, particularly those who have historically dismissed India's potential, are now forced to reckon with its presence on the global stage. The shock of India's rise is not just about what it has achieved, but about what it represents. India's emergence signals a shift in the global balance of power, where nations that were once considered developing are now leading the charge for change. It challenges the notion that the future is predetermined by historical power structures and suggests that the world is more dynamic than previously imagined. India's actions, both large and small, have made it clear that it is no longer on the periphery of global influence. It is central to shaping the future. The world is learning, albeit slowly, that India is not a force to be underestimated, but one that will reshape the global order in ways no one could have anticipated. India's rise is not merely a momentary event, it is the dawn of a new era. This is not just about an economic boom or military strength, it is about a shift in the very way the world understands global power. India's emergence as a force on the world stage is a harbinger of a future where it will no longer be just a participant, but a defining player in shaping the global narrative. The events that have unfolded in recent years signal the beginning of a new phase in India's journey, one that is charged with purpose, energy, and an unyielding belief in its potential. This moment in time is not isolated, it marks a turning point in history. India's rise is not just a result of circumstance, but the culmination of decades of hard work, resilience, and vision. It's the result of a nation that has patiently built its strengths, economic, technological, diplomatic, and now, at the right moment, it is unleashing them onto the world stage. For years, India quietly set the stage for this transition, laying the foundation brick by brick, and now it is ready to step forward into the global spotlight. But what is most striking about this new era is the confidence that India carries with it. Gone are the days when India was defined by its struggles or its attempts to catch up with global powers. Today, India is not waiting for permission to lead. It is taking its place at the table, demanding to be heard and respected. Its leadership is grounded in the understanding that its voice matters, that its contributions to global conversations are not only relevant, but essential. The world is beginning to realize that India is not just a country with a rich past, it is a country with a bright, powerful future, one that will define the course of history for years to come. As India takes its place in this new global order, it is also redefining what it means to be a global power. It is not following the traditional paths that past superpowers have taken. Instead, it is forging its own path, one that reflects its unique history, values, and aspirations. This is not a nation that seeks to impose its will on others, but one that seeks to collaborate, innovate, and lead by example. India's rise signals the dawn of a more inclusive, multipolar world where power is no longer concentrated in the hands of a few, but distributed across nations that are ready to rise to the occasion. In this new era, India is not just a participant in global affairs, it is a catalyst for change. Its influence extends beyond its borders, shaping the future of industries, markets, and international relations. From the global economy to climate change, from space exploration to social justice, India's voice will be central in the decisions that shape the world. The world will not only watch India's rise, it will be influenced by it. This is the beginning of a new chapter in the story of India, one where it is not just a player, but the author of its destiny. The world is awakening to the realization that India's time has come, and it is just the beginning.